Manchester United 0, Everton 1, and what an absolutely abysmal and pathetic Manchester United performance that was. A reminder that United are still nowhere near good enough. A result that proves United are not back and are still capable of putting in one of those shitty displays that show zero character, a lack of effort and urgency, and ultimately a lack of quality. It was there for the taking last night, and United failed. Yes, sometimes it can be difficult to break down 10 men, but Gay's unbelievable red card for slapping his own teammate Michael Keane in the 13th minute presented United with the biggest gift possible to get the win that would have taken them back into the top 5 and maybe even the top 4 if they had won by 3 goals or more. You know, you have to boss that game from there. Everton shouldn't be able to get out of their own half, let alone bloody score and take the lead. And that is why United are not back. Even before the sending off, Everton were by far the better side. In the first 12 minutes, Everton had managed 14 successful passes in the final third to United's 1. 1! You're coming into the game off the back of a fairly decent run, 3 wins and 2 draws, you know a win could propel you up the table. Even before the sending off, you should be starting the game with urgency and intent and taking the game to what is a mid-table side in Everton. But okay, it hasn't quite happened from the off, but then you're given a huge gift. Everton go down to 10 men after 2 of their players have a bit of a scrap with each other. So come on Ruben, there's your gift. Be brave. Change that formation. Take off one of your 3 unnecessary centre-backs who are now all pretty much marking Tierno Barry, who had 0 goals to his name this season by the way, and then Beto when he came on, who has 1 goal this season. Throw an extra forward or at least go 4-3-3 and push Bruno further forward and let's grab some goals and 3 points and climb that table. But no. We've got to stick to 3 centre-backs and keep to the original game plan, working the ball wide and putting in crosses that are mostly and predictably dealt with by Keane, Tarkowski and O'Brien. Xerxes had a couple of good headers that were well saved by Pickford in the second half, but for the abundance of crosses United put in, that was really it. There were some other half-decent chances. Bruno's long ranger in the first half that was well saved from Pickford. And there was his 6-yarder outside the foot effort in the second half that he really should have scored from. There was Mbermo's decent low strike in the second half from the edge of the area. That was again well saved by Pickford. But there wasn't anywhere near enough really. And I just couldn't help but think that the very best teams in the league, the Arsenals and Man Cities, not only would have found a way to break Everton down, but they would have probably got 3, 4 or 5 goals in the end. And United proved here that they most certainly are not one of the very best teams in the league. Far, far from it. All credit to Everton, of course. They were fantastic, and it would have been so unfair on David Moyes' side if United got anything from that game. But better teams would have moved the ball much quicker and played through Everton and grabbed that incredible opportunity to get 3 points and a few goals as well. For me, Xerxes is nowhere near good enough. Yes, he hasn't had much game time and lacks some match sharpness, but you have to be ready to prove a point. And honestly, he was nowhere near it. Scrapping with Tarkowski in the opening stages of the game doesn't show passion to me. That doesn't show you're involved in the game. Go and demand the ball. Make things happen instead of having a scrap with Everton's centre-back. And show me the quality that I'm sure you've been desperate to show everybody. Hey Ruben, this is why I should be your starting number 9 every week. But he didn't do that. As for Bruno Fernandes, he is not a central midfielder in a 2-man midfield. His best moments come from being around the number 10 area of the pitch, where he did have a couple of decent chances to be fair. But the gaps at times between him and Casemiro in the midfield are enormous. And it's no surprise United concede so many chances and ultimately goals. An even better team than Everton, or an Everton side with 11 players on the pitch last night, might have grabbed a few more against that United side yesterday. Look at the league table. We conceded 19 goals, up there as one of the most after 12 games. And then look at the Everton goal and you can see why United concede so many goals, even with 3 bloody centre-backs. Yes, it was a superb finish from Dewsbury-Hall, but it was shambolic from a United point of view. Bruno's attempt to win the ball is abysmal. Dewsbury-Hall shrugs him off like he isn't even there. Euro puts in a crappy weak tackle and De Ligt turns his back on it. Just really shitty. And that's what that performance was last night. Total crap. I hate this formation. It's so defensive minded, there's such a lack of creativity, and at times it shows such a lack of ambition, and that performance and result prove it. I'm so glad Old Trafford greeted the full-time whistle with a chorus of booing because the players bloody deserved it. You can't just turn it on when you feel like it when you play for Manchester United. You have to do it every single minute of every game that you play for this great club. The fans demand it, and rightfully so. It's a mentality that is so sorely lacking from the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Great players, Beckham, Giggs, Scholes, Keane, Rooney, Ronaldo, and so many others, giving their all each and every time they put on that shirt. I hope Amarin gave this bunch something similar to the famous Fergie hairdryer treatment after this shit show, because this widely overpaid and overrated squad deserve exactly that. So here's the harsh reality, maybe not for the fans, but for the players. This season, this United team are an inconsistent mid-table side, perfectly illustrated by sitting 10th in the table after 12 games with a 0 goal difference, a side that is nowhere near either the Premier League's or Europe's elite, a side that may challenge for European qualification next season if they can put together a decent run of results at times in between some crappy performances and results. They are still capable of woefully underperforming, and it's honestly a relief that we sign players like Cunha and Mbermo who can provide a bit of quality, because for the most part what's around them is just average, both the players and the manager.